Hey guys, how the hell are you? Time now to actually go over something that kind of muddied up the works a little bit when I was going to pick my albums of the year for 2020. And that would be all these absolutely incredible EPs that came out this year. There was a lot of bands and artists that came out with little like two, three, four song bangers here or there. And some of them were just so damn good, I just could not stop listening to them throughout the year. But as it was, they weren't really full length releases. So I wanted to do a separate list. And that is basically what you guys are watching right now. If you'd like to know more album of the year contenders that I had, you can actually watch the album of the year list. There is a link in the description below where I go in depth on the 10 plus 1 favorite full length releases that I heard throughout this last year. Some incredible stuff. The reason why I do these videos is so that you guys have even more recommendations of absolutely kick-ass releases so that you can go back, maybe check something out you hadn't heard or hadn't heard of before, and hopefully have your mind blown just as much as mine was. With that, let's cut the bullshit. Let's just get straight to the list. My number 5 EP of the year was The Forlorn Soldier by Pure Wrath. Now, this was some incredible stuff. It's basically a one-man solo project that is based out of Indonesia. The main guy in this group, this guy named Januario Hardy, he has crafted an incredible 3-song opus that is fantastic, epic, folky, black metal style stuff. Not too far off from bands like Sojourner or Winterfilleth, or even in some spots more like Emperor. It's some great black metal stuff with lots of really intricate weaving melody lines. Even though this thing is only 3 songs, it is incredible stuff. I would highly recommend you check this one out. For the next one on the list, we're going to keep with the sort of extreme metal theme here, the sort of blackened metal theme, and we're going to talk about Ninkarsag, Discipline Through Black Sorcery. Now, this was also a really fantastic EP, very melodic, but still very extreme. Probably the best points of references I could make for this are, there again, a little bit of Emperor in there, but kind of veering off into dissection-ish territory. So a little bit Melodeath kind of creeping in. There's also elements here or there where you get a lot of really extreme black metal stuff like Watain, or maybe even like Necrophobic, but a little bit less schlocky, a little bit more just straight up black metal. It's really good. And right from that first song, the title track, Discipline Through Black Sorcery, you just find yourself engrossed with this thing. It's really extreme. The black metal vocals are just fantastically done. This was originally a one-man solo project, but I guess like about 10 years ago, they became a fully fledged band, and it is a really nice, cohesive listen. Everyone is kind of playing off of each other, and it just sounds absolutely killer. You should definitely check this out. For the next one, I want to talk about a late in the year new release that came out in December, and this was something that kind of provoked a reaction video from me that you guys may or may not have seen. But basically saying that how much I hated how a lot of people put out their best of 2020 lists in November. Basically kind of discrediting anything that could come out after that list as being a contender. This was definitely an EP that blew my freaking mind, and I have to talk about it. The band name is The Fallen Prophets. They are a 4-piece kind of brutal, sort of slamming death metal band from South Africa. A lot of guest stars on this EP, no end in sight. But man, if you want to talk about some just mind-blowing, aborted style death metal, that is definitely what you've got here. It's extremely aggressive, it's fast paced, it doesn't let up. There's some really, really kick ass transitions here and there. And when it gets to the slam parts, it's not like a typical slam band where it almost is borderline hardcore breakdowns. If anything, it's more like they just kind of pull everything back, do like the carpet rolls and the fills, and just straight up chug and carry you over to the next blasting part. It's fucking fantastic. Some brutal fucking vocals on tap here, but man, these guys have the gift of riff. Some seriously brutal shit. And if you love your death metal, this extreme and this intense and this brick to the face aggressive, that is exactly the kind of release you need in your life. And it's kind of funny too, they actually came out with a full-length album earlier in the year, so this is definitely a band that is really, really intent on keeping the new material coming out, which I love. I love bands that do that. But this is definitely a case where, even though that full length was great, this, in my opinion, was mind-blowingly great. This was a fantastic EP, No End in Sight by the Fallen Prophets. My number 2 EP of the year, this was one of those ones that came out of left field because it is something that I totally didn't anticipate me being into as much as I did. It was one of those things where the first time I heard it, I actually didn't like it at all. I was like, what the fuck is this? What am I even listening to? I'm talking about Mono Queen by Four Stroke Baron. So this is an EP comprised of tons of different cover songs by the likes of Death Grips, The Beatles. Their cover of Mean Mr. Mustard is really awesome. Post Malone, and a few others. And there's also a bunch of re-recordings of some songs on here from an old recording that they had done. And this was really my first exposure to Four Stroke Baron. It was one of those things where, like, you know, it's super groovy, it's a little bit modern rocky, but a little bit progressive. Something that fans of Primus at their heaviest could get into. Maybe some stuff like Mudvayne at their most progressive could be into. Maybe even like along the lines of 311, stuff like that. Gent fans could probably find a lot to love with this band, even though they're not straight up gent per se. But man, it's just some really, really interesting stuff. And it was one of those things where, like, I started off like, okay, this vocal delivery is so weird, how there's all this effects on the vocals and how he's got such a unique timbre to this sort of Kermit-like tone of his voice. And then coupled that with the groovy riffs, the groovy drums, the slapping bass. You know, I don't know if I really dig this. And then the next thing you know, I've listened through this thing like 6 or 7 times. And I was like, I think I'm a fan now. And then all of a sudden, I have to go back and re-listen to the band's other material. And ultimately, isn't that what you want from a band that is putting out more and more stuff? You want them to put out something that finally grabs you and causes you to go back, check out their other stuff, and be an actual fan. That is definitely what happened here. I was not digging it when I first heard it, and then next thing you know, I'm listening to it and listening to it and listening to it, and it had its hooks in me. So, Mono Queen by Four Stroke Baron, god damn what a good EP that was. And finally, the last EP that I want to talk to you guys about, this was one that, another one that came out right at the tail end of the year. 4 songs, but man, are they 4 damn near perfect songs. I want to talk to you guys about a band called Humanity is Cancer and their debut EP, which is self-titled, honestly. This is fucking incredible stuff. First of all, it's kind of a big, like, super group like project. There's a bunch of guys in here that have played in a bunch of other bands. A few guys have played with The Faceless. The bassist and vocalist also plays with Nunslaughter, which is a fantastic black metal band. But now we're talking about guys from varying walks of life, and what are they doing here? This is kind of like heavy, pummeling, pile driver riffage death metal stuff. Probably the best point of reference I can give you guys, two bands. Check out a band called Devolved from Australia, and also, and probably more accurately, check out a band called Modern Age Slavery, and that is kind of in the ballpark of what we've got here. Kind of Dino Cazares worship on the riffage here. Fast, staccato, pummeling riffs. Just rapid fire, super brutal, super heavy, but at the same time blasting when it needs to, fucking evil and brutal sounding when it needs to be. Just not a bad element in play here. The vocals are fantastic, super brutal, super low and guttural. Just, ugh. This is just a powerful, powerful fucking release, and this is what you want from a band putting out their first ever effort. You want something that is so goddamn good that you can't stop listening to it. You listen to it over and over and over again, and you're just like, fuck, when are these guys coming out with a full length? Because I am fucking on board. All right? I am officially a fan of Humanity is Cancer. Great fucking band name, by the way. And I look seriously forward to hearing what more these guys can come out with. I hope more comes out sooner rather than later. So with that, guys, thank you so much. This was my top 5 EPs of 2020. Hopefully you guys will check these things out. The total running time between all these releases, when you add all of them up, is probably something like, I don't know, 2.5 to 3 hours. So it's not really a huge heaping amount of music. And for that reason, I would strongly urge you guys to check them all out, give them a shot, see if anything here trips your trigger as much as it did me. Just awesome stuff. And remember, there's even more stuff that you can check out. If you go to the link that's in the video description, you'll find my top 10 album of the year list. I would definitely recommend checking out those new releases as well. And please remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel. There's tons more metal and guitar oriented content to come. And remember to please take what you do seriously, but do not take yourself too seriously.